Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Vorse. A couple of weeks ago, we told you about the issue at St. Francis Xavier Parish in Manhattan, where it appeared New York Archbishop Timothy Dolan actually cheers a homosexual group that was being introduced to him. Apparently, quite a lot of people contacted the Archdiocese of New York after that report. One woman who got a response from the Assistant Director of Communications for the Archdiocese forwarded that response on to us. Here is what it said, quote, "I discussed your concerns with Archbishop Dolan, and his response was the following. St. Francis Xavier has an active lay ministry to Catholics with a same-sex attraction. I am filled with joy that through this ministry, many Catholics have returned to the sacraments. A return to the sacraments implies a conversion of life. I have full faith in the pastor at St. Francis Xavier to carry out this mission consistent with the teachings of the Church." End quote. Given the reputation of St. Francis Xavier Parish, this sounded a little strange to us. So we shared it with some people in New York to get their impressions. One priest responded, quote, "This reply is either terribly cynical or dangerously naive. In any case, it is the same kind of denial that led to the sex abuse crisis. Many priests know that the case is very much different. For the good of the Church, this kind of illusion must not be allowed to perpetuate itself." We also called the New York offices of the group Courage. That's an association of Catholics with same-sex attraction who are trying to live their lives according to the teachings of the Church. They are heroic individuals who uphold and defend the Church's teaching that homosexuality is objectively disordered and homosexual acts are intrinsically evil. They live chaste lives and stay close to the sacraments. Their reaction to the goings-on at St. Francis Xavier was a little less diplomatic than the Archbishop's. For example, each year New York City sponsors a gay pride parade, complete with all the usual stuff that goes on at such an event. Men dressed like women, condoms being tossed around to the crowd from floats, cheers and banners and signs supporting and promoting the gay lifestyle, and of course, the usual lewd acts. Up until this year, St. Francis Xavier parishioners have marched in this parade with a parish banner. The Archbishop asked them not to do so this year, and they complied. Sort of. They still marched, but they carried a blank banner to protest his request, and they wore T-shirts instead, announcing that they were from St. Francis Xavier Catholic Parish. We asked the Courage group what they thought of Catholics with same-sex attraction, which they have, who supposedly have returned to an authentic sacramental life, and if they would march in such a parade. Without hesitation, they said they would not do it, and it was imprudent. Chastity, they said, is a lifestyle, and marching in such a parade might give scandal to the faithful, you think? Which is a very good response. In fact, it is the appropriate Catholic response. This parade exists for one reason, to celebrate an aberrant sexual behavior and express pride over having sex with members of the same gender. It's also a political statement that homosexuals want their choice of who to have sex with recognized and enshrined in law as a right. It is also a cultural statement, with so many marchers chanting slogans such as, "We're here, we're queer." Condoms are thrown from floats. Signs promoting immoral sex are openly brandished. It is precisely because of the political and cultural statement made by such a parade and the marchers in it that cities like Rome and Jerusalem and Moscow have had such huge fights about them. No Catholic who is living an authentic sacramental life and trying to live chaste could condone these parades, much less march in them. Which brings us back to the Archbishop's response as conveyed by his staff. Does anyone really believe that the homosexual parishioners at St. Francis Xavier have returned to the authentic sacramental life when they openly express their opposition to church teaching on national TV and march in parades celebrating what they should consider to be objectively disordered and intrinsically evil? On top of all of this is a smack in the face to Catholics in groups like Courage, who struggle with this cross and are doggedly trying to do their best and deserve recognition and support for their fight. In his interview with CNN, the Jesuit pastor said the Archbishop was concerned with the appearance of promoting promiscuity.
Tino says he thinks the Archbishop is concerned about some marchers who promote
promiscuity. That's the word I was. Our people are not supporting.
That is a very clever wordsmith game. While that's true, one would think it's not the whole truth. One would hope that the Archbishop was concerned with a good deal more than just promiscuity or the appearance of supporting it. The implication on the part of the pastor can be easily construed as to mean that the Archbishop is fine with monogamous homosexual relationships, it's just promiscuity he's bothered by. This whole mess stinks. It stinks of scandal, cleverly worded interviews, word-crafted responses which skirt the real issue, upholding the letter of the law and violating its spirit by sidestepping the directive to not march in the parade with a banner, and on and on. We've received various emails about this story from Catholics who've gone to Mass at St. Francis Xavier and seen wildly inappropriate behavior that gives a whole new meaning to the term kiss of peace. One viewer said it was disgusting and actually left Mass. Everyone in Manhattan knows this parish is much more than just supportive of Catholics who have same-sex attraction. It quietly promotes the gay lifestyle and has had that reputation for years. If you go to the parish website, for example, the lesbian and gay groups, the ones that were introduced to the Archbishop, aren't listed under ministries, they're listed under social activities. And if they are so committed to upholding the Church's teaching, where's the Courage group in this parish that unambiguously supports the Church's teaching? It is beyond the realm of reason to think that the Archdiocese of New York is unaware of all of these issues. That's why the scene of the Archbishop cheering the group and the response from his office is so disturbing to so many Catholics, because it looks like, with very good reason, a total capitulation to the homosexual movement and an abandonment to the adherents of the faith. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.